let me just say this. I'm sorry. The people that I represent can't afford a plane ticket. So waiting in line for a delayed plane is not going to get them pissed. What's getting the people that I know who are upset are the people that are literally not being able to eat. To say that you're not holding Medicaid hostage when you know that Democrats are trying to negotiate to get health care back on the table.
That's the Affordable Care Act subsidy,
right?
Which is a totally different.
Right, but you know Democrats don't have leverage, so let's stop playing games. This is their only leverage that they have.
They've said this is the only leverage they have, which is why they shut the government.
That's exactly it.
Well, we're correct. They shut the government.
Let's get one thing straight. The people I represent can't even afford a plane ticket, so no. Waiting in line at the airport isn't their biggest concern. What's crushing them is not being able to put food on the table. And the idea that Democrats aren't holding Medicaid hostage, please. Everyone can see they're using it as leverage to revive their precious health care subsidies. The same old Affordable Care Act handouts they refuse to let die. They've even admitted this shutdown is their only bargaining chip. So let's stop pretending this is about helping people. It's about power, and they're more than willing to shut down the entire government to keep it.
And I just want to speak for those who are really being affected. We say the numbers there are 22 million, but I want to speak on behalf of Clifford Johnson in LA, who is disabled. He is paralyzed, and you know what he does for a living? Drive Uber with sticks. So this is somebody who does everything that they possibly can with no legs to still work, to still contribute to society, who's getting screwed on the Medicaid side, and also now being screwed on the food stamp side. So no matter what he does, this particular administration that is in charge now is screwing him either way. There is this stereotype that those who are on SNAP and those who are on these benefits are people who are lazy, people who are not contributing. So that $100 and $150 that he gets every month may not make a difference to those who are sitting at the tables in Congress, but it absolutely makes a difference to him. So what would you say to him, to the Republicans who are holding Medicaid hostage for food stamps? Should he now say, well, now I can't get my diabetes, all of the complications with being paralyzed, or starve? What would you say to him? What should his choice be?
Well, Republicans are not holding Medicaid hostage, number one. Number two, we protected Medicaid for those who are disabled to make sure that they are not losing benefits to those that are here illegally, taking benefits away from the very people who rely on this program, number one. Number two, again, we passed, Republicans in the House, passed a clean CR to fund SNAP, to fund WIC over a month ago. Democrats in the Senate have voted 14 times to keep the government shut down, to not fund WIC, to not fund SNAP. So this is not a function of Republicans playing politics. I don't care who the president is or what party is in power. I have voted every single time to keep the government funded and open. During Joe Biden's presidency, I voted 8 times to keep the government funded. Kevin McCarthy lost his job as Speaker of the House in large measure because he put a clean CR on the floor.
Let's talk about the people actually suffering through this mess. We keep hearing 22 million affected, but behind that number are real human beings. Like Clifford Johnson from LA, paralyzed, drives Uber with sticks, and still works harder than half the politicians in DC. Yet he's being squeezed by this administration on both Medicaid and food stamps. That tired old stereotype that people on SNAP don't contribute? Pure garbage. That $150 might mean nothing to Congress, but it's life or death for him. What's he supposed to do now, skip meals or skip medicine? That's the corner Democrats backed him into. Republicans didn't hold Medicaid hostage, they protected it. They passed clean funding for SNAP and WIC weeks ago, while Democrats voted 14 times to drag this shutdown out. The cruelty isn't on the right, it's coming straight from the ones pretending to care.
Tell me to make a deal. So we've never allowed policy, and this is Chuck Schumer saying this. This is Hakeem Jeffries saying this. This is Nancy Pelosi saying this. We've never allowed policy to be extracted at the barrel of a gun by using a shutdown to hold the American people hostage. There's a very simple way to address all these issues. And by the way, I'm a lead co-sponsor on a bill to extend the ACA subsidy by a year. I went and asked Hakeem Jeffries 3 weeks ago, sign on to the bill. If this is what you're saying is the issue, let's get it done, sign on to the bill and join me. He said no, because it really was never about that. So if we want to address healthcare in America, let's do it. But you don't do it in a shutdown.
There's something because you keep saying over and over, there's never, they've always signed on. Let me be clear. I'm an independent. I'm not a Democrat. I told Democrats they should have did the same thing that you're doing to them. They should have shut it all down, broke it all down. So I appreciate the or else, that the Republicans are doing if that is the agenda that you're pushing. So I just want to be clear about that. When you say they've always signed on, they should have stopped signing on a long time ago when Sarah was following us with the George Floyd matter. They should have shut it down a long time ago when we were looking to expand the Supreme Court. So I am all for, pushing the agenda and using what you can as leverage, and Republicans do that best. So now be confused why Democrats are doing that is confusing to me.
In my conference last Congress that wanted to shut the government down over Joe Biden's open border policy. I and others said no, not because I disagreed with them on the substance of the issue, but because shutting down the government is not going to solve the problem. And in fact, what it's doing, the very people that you're talking about that are not going to get food assistance, that's what it does. It creates this tit-for-tat game where each side uses the American people as a hostage in a ridiculous negotiation. We can easily pass the clean CR, open the government up, pass an ACA subsidy extension. I don't want to see people's health care premiums go up. But the fact is that this subsidy, by the way, the Democrats passed to expire at the end of this year. If they could have done a permanent extension while Joe Biden was president, they would have done that.
But your argument is, let's just pass it and let's negotiate later. That's not how it works.
Well, then you will see this happen every single time. If people want to use a government shutdown, you will see this happen in perpetuity every year, September 30th.
This shutdown isn't about budgets, it's about optics. It's political theater where Democrats use American lives as props. They're blocking every clean funding bill while demanding $1.5 trillion in new spending to feed their bloated bureaucracy and secure votes from their illegal base. They've frozen healthcare programs, stalled troop paychecks, and still blame Republicans for the chaos they created. Meanwhile, Republicans have repeatedly passed clear, clean bills to reopen the government. But Democrats need the crisis. It's their playbook. Create pain, spin the blame, and hope voters forget who started